Welcome back, handheld gamers. So, a little bit of Abxylute content again. So, the last few days, I've been very much playing on this little guy. It's an Neo Air Plus Intel model with a i3 1215U processor. It's quite a nice wee machine. There's a lot of games that'll run. There's a few games that won't run, and there's a few surprises of games that'll run. Now, it's very different to the Abxylute in that this is a full PC. The Abxylute is literally just a streaming device. The Abxolute's got a 7-inch screen, this has got a 6-inch screen. This is a real big fat chungus when you compare it with the Abxylute. So the Abxylute is just a waif when it comes to weight. It's so light. And side by side comparison, look at that. That's what you get when you offload all your actual processing power. You get a device that's super slim. And the irony here is, a lot of people are saying that they wish the Abxylute had bigger grips, because it's not only got little grips here. So the Neo has got quite big grips, but they're actually not that big, because they're just kind of wasted because of all this thickness. So when I hold this, try and tip it up so you can see. You know, my fingers are kind of curved round, but they're not super comfortable. Plus, it's quite a short unit, so it sits quite high up in my hand. So I just wanted a little comparison there today. This is a new device. It's actually quite pocketable, but then so is this. This is only a little bit taller. If I hold them over each other, you can see there's almost nothing in it. If I hold it up to the top, there's about half an inch at the bottom and about an inch give at one end. So now I use them for both doing the same thing. I use them to play games, so that's why I'm comparing the two. So this is actually, it's pretty good, I have to say. I'm really impressed. $269 this was, so £212. Abxylute, can't actually remember what that cost, but it was less than that. I think it's about is it £202 or £201 or something just now, so it's quite cheap. 1080p screen, and this also has a 1080p screen, but what difference between 6 inches and 7 inches? I find that I'm holding this quite close to my face in comparison to this, where I can just sit at any range. So that 1 extra inch really does make a difference. I actually went on my 1X Player 4000U today, and that's got an 8.4 inch screen. That makes an even bigger difference, but there becomes a point where a handheld device is just getting a little bit too large. I'll probably do some more content on this little thing. I've done a couple of videos already. I own this, so I'll be doing lots of content on it. I've been testing lots of games. So I've got 30 odd games installed just now, and it's only a 1 terabyte micro SD in the bottom here, in this little flap. It's got a nice little design. Really keeps it safe in there. It's not going to fall out in a hurry, and it really finishes off the look of the device. So, like I say, I'm going to do lots of content on this little boy. So stay tuned. Join the channel if you haven't already. I'm going to shut this down just now because we're going to do what we're supposed to be doing. The other comparison I suppose I could have pointed out was the sticks. Hard to see because it's a little bit dark in here. So the sticks are pretty much the same as the Abxylute sticks. In fact, side by side, if I'm looking at them here, if I was to tilt that up, you can actually see the Abxylute sticks stick up a tiny bit further, I would say. But not by much, maybe only a millimetre. I think maybe it's less recessed. These are recessed in quite a lot, which is good and bad. I mean, it's good for carrying it. It's probably bad for ergonomics, but I actually find it's quite a nice little device to hold. Buttons are a lot smaller, face buttons. You can see that. So if I try and hold them side by side as best I can, kind of difficult holding that back, but there you go. Face buttons are probably about 20% bigger on the Abxylute. So that's getting put away now. Also comes in a really nice case, a Tom Talk case, and it's got Neo written on it. It's a white case, so it's a bit different, stands out. I'm not sure everybody likes it, but I think it's quite pleasant. Now I believe this case from Abxylute is a Tom Talk as well, and it's much cheaper, but it's a lot stealthier, it's a lot narrower, and it offers pretty much the same level of protection, so I can't grudge it. And one thing I will say about the Abxylute Abxylute have very much learned from what Steam have done, and they've packaged it very similarly. So they put it in a little bag, and then they put it in the case, and then they put the case in a small box, and add minimal extra information. Here it is here. And then that was wrapped up in a slightly bigger box just to kind of hide the logos and stuff. In fact, I've still got the box down here. So just a normal, covered in that orange, special orange packing tape that you can only get when you get stuff shipped from China. So, and I actually think, no, they've taken one. There's the bag there. Actually, they've actually taken what Valve did with the Steam Deck. You know, the little sleeve at the side, cardboard sleeve, which just helped bolster the size of it, and then there was your USB cable. So I think what they've done is minimalist packaging, because these things, you know, there's a lot of plastic in them. They're entirely plastic. So trying to be a bit greener with your packaging, I think, is a good thing. Neo, on the other hand, they've gone for the big kind of old-fashioned glossy box with lots of pictures on, and it looks really nice. It's a really nice unboxing experience, and I kind of appreciate why they do it, but I also don't these days, because it's just a big bulky box that you have to store somewhere. It's a little bit annoying. And while it's great that one time when you take it out of the box, you then have to put that box away somewhere or throw it out. Most people probably don't. I know I haven't thrown any of these boxes out. So it's then storing it somewhere, and then there's all these extra bits in it. Now it's great. The Neo came with a charging brick, a cable, adapters for the charging brick for different countries. I don't usually like those charging bricks. I don't feel like I can trust them because they're just going to push fit into the adapter. And what else did it come with? A couple of USB-A to USB-C adapters, which was welcome. And that's about it. Came with a screen protector, which I've not actually put on because I feel the screen's pretty good quality anyway, and I don't think it needs the screen protector. Now, this Abxylute didn't come with a screen protector. It does come with one normally, but there's not one applied to this DVT2 unit. So, let's get to the meat and potatoes of this video. What can you see that's different? Oh look, Hogwarts Legacy. So we're going to load that. Hopefully it works okay. It might take a little while to set up. So at the moment, this is on sale. You get it on Steam with 20% off, which is a good deal. If you want an even better deal, go over to Greenman Gaming and get 32% off. Plus, I think if you use their Summer XP pack, which is meant to give you 2% off, you get about an extra $1 off, I think. I got about 60 pence in the UK, so about $1 probably. But it's every $1 saved is $1 in your pocket. So instead of paying $60 for the base game, you pay £60. I think it's £59.99. So you get for £32 and some change. So that would be $40, I think, thereabouts. So I think it's a good saving. It's doing this preparing shaders. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't see anybody else posting about this, but does it do that every single time you load the game? Because it takes a couple of minutes. It's a strange one. Now, as ever, the content I'm doing on my Abxylute is being streamed from a mini PC. And that mini PC is a Minis Forum, a Neptune series HX80H, which is the cheapest one. And it was a bare bones machine. And that bare bones machine came with no storage and no memory. In that machine I installed 16 gig of crucial memory. Can't remember what the CL level is, but it'll be in one of my videos if you want to check for the HX80H. And I put in a 1 terabyte, is that 1 terabyte or was it half a terabyte? I think it's a 1 terabyte NVMe drive. In fact, it's a 2 terabyte SN70 NVMe drive, which is what was in my One X Player 4000U originally. And when I sent that back for repair, I took that drive out and put it into the mini forum PC. And it, plugged at the back of it, I've got a 5 terabyte USB spinning Rust drive, which actually hosts all the games. That's why this is probably taking a little bit longer to load, because it's actually installed on that drive. But when I was playing this last night, it was running like a dream. Easily over 100 FPS most of the time. And now that machine's got a Radeon RX 6600M GPU in it, and that GPU's got 8 gig of dedicated GDDR6. So I'm just going to move this a little bit so there's a little wobble there. So anyway, it's loaded up now. And I have to say, get the volume cranked up a bit, I think. I have to say I'm actually quite enjoying this game. But no, it's not showing me the FPS counter now. I'll have to look into that. Okay. So FPS wise, this was, strangely, it defaulted to 1080p and the low settings and set a FPS limit of 60 and VSync on, and it struggled to stay at 60 at the lowest settings, and I was kind of disappointed. So what I did was I went and I took off VSync and I just let it try and see how fast it could go, top speed, and it was shooting up to over 200 FPS at the lowest settings. So then I started turning settings on. I think by the time I'd finished, I tweaked all the settings up to high, and it was still running at well over 150 FPS. So then I turned on 2 out of the 3 ray tracing options, set to medium. Game looks amazing, and it floats around the upper 90s to up to 120, 130 FPS, and I found it was really playable at that. I don't know why it kind of froze up when it had pre-configured itself, but we'll see how it goes. This may take a little while to load in. I may have to skip. Oh, maybe not then. No FPS counter, so that's a strange one. Let's just check why that is. I'm actually just going to... Oh, the FPS counter's up now. Why is that, I wonder? And now it says 56 FPS, which is not great. So I wonder why it's so low. Let's just go in and tweak my settings a little bit. In fact, I'm also going to turn the brightness up because I do that for every one of these videos. Oh, I just came straight back out. So that button to get into the menu. What's that button? I wish I knew why it was doing this. There we go, menu options. Okay. So it's windowed full screen. It's 1080p. Oh yes, I forgot we're using FSR quality setting, which means it's rendered at 720p and then upscaling to 1080. But I have to say it looks really good. Motion blur is off, depth of field is off, pretty much just left everything else as it was. Let's go into graphics setting. So everything was set to high, and then down here with the ray traced reflections on and ray traced shadows. I'll just turn them off just now. Turn them both off. Don't think it made a huge difference, to be honest. And as you see, we've got the FPS is shot up to 246, and I bet it'll stay fine now in game. Okay, 120. Well, I'm happy enough with that. Okay. Now, if you haven't played this game, yes, there may be spoilers. Oh, a touchscreen that kind of. Okay. So again, I'm sorry if you're getting spoilers here, but this game's been out for a while, so honestly, if you've not played this game already, that's kind of on you rather than me. Let's go speak to some people. As you can see, if you have played this game, I'm not very far in.
Sure you don't want to try it?
I've spoke to this guy already.
Hello, you're the new 5th year. Pleased to meet you. I'm Gareth Weasley. Heard about your travels here. Can't believe it. Glad you and Fig are all right. Is it true that someone from the Ministry was with you in the carriage? Oh, yes.
My God, my character looks just like him.
Oh, didn't mean to pry. Nasty business, dragons. Again, very glad you're here.
Thank you, Gareth. So am I. Are you related to Professor Weasley?
I am.
So one other thing about the Abxylute, I'm out in my shed at the moment, so I have mesh network out here, and although I have a 500 meg connection in the house, out here it's down to about 70. I just tested it earlier, so obviously I'm streaming up here and then I'm streaming on this, so one stream to Discord and one stream back to my PC, so that's using up that bandwidth quite effectively, I think.
Still, she means well, and she's an incredibly powerful witch. She'll have your back.
Well, it was nice meeting you, Gareth, and thank you for the insights on your art.
Pleasure to meet you as well. Good luck today.
Who am I speaking to now? Someone over here, I guess. Who's this weirdo? So while it's doing that, I'm going to crack open a little can.
Students know how to cast non-verbally.
Not at all. Hogwarts doesn't teach non-verbal casting until the 6th year, and even then, many struggle with it. I'm simply trying to get ahead of the game.
Well, good luck with it. It was nice to meet you, Cresta.
You as well. Enjoy your first day.
So what I will say is, I know nothing about the Harry Potter franchise. I've watched the first, I don't know, 3 or so films with my son. Well, we've not got around to watching the rest yet. Now, he's read all the books, so he knows all of it. So he was the one that was... What's that loon doing up there? Yeah, so like I say, I've not really spent a lot of time learning all the stuff to do with Harry Potter. The game looked quite interesting. I've seen people play it online. It looked different. My son's been desperate to get it for some time, so here we are. No, I'm not getting up there, am I? Right, where am I going now? Through this tunnely thing. Where'd that go? Ah, there we go. Can I get out? Evidently not. I've presumably got to speak to said person that's up there. Introduce yourself to Nelly, and I guess that's Nelly. Did I shoot her down? That doesn't work. Maybe I should have watched some videos on what to do here.
Seems that's off limits to me.
What? Nice. Can't go up a set of stairs. Can I go back up these ones? Evidently I can. Oh, this sure isn't helping me.
Nelly, anything fast for you?
Just grab an apple. Oh, that don't last long. 2 bites. Good did he get? Must have been starving.
Don't fall off this time, Nelly. Nelly, please get down. The Professor could arrive any moment. Share
I hope the
won't
Professor catches her this time.
So I can manage to have a cup of tea, but I can't talk to Nelly.
I hope the Professor catches her this time.
Hey, I can shot that guy's face off.
Rebellion. Anything for attention.
And you may be hearing some rain on the rooftops here. This is fun.
She gets bolder every year.
Lumos. She is anyway.
Ah, wait a minute. So you have to stand there.
Why is everyone so highly strung? It's perfectly safe. Well, hello. Don't mind me. I find it helpful to change my point of view now and again. Put things in perspective. Once I made it to the top of Gryffindor Tower, from the outside, without a broom.
Goodness.
I'm Nellie, by the way. Nellie Oxfire. I've heard rumours about what happened to you on your way to Hogwarts. Is it true? About the dragon?
Yes, our carriage was attacked by a dragon.
Crikey! I can't believe it. How thrilling! And also terrifying. Anyway, you've certainly brought some much-needed excitement to Gryffindor. And Hogwarts, for that matter.
What exactly are the rumours about my journey to Hogwarts?
That you escaped a dragon attack? Isn't that enough? Most of us arrive via train or boat, not having just escaped the jaws of a dragon. Of course it's got people talking. Word travels fast at Hogwarts.
I take it you're not afraid of heights.
It's something I've always done since I was little. My mother once found me on the roof when I was 5. Still has no idea how I got there. But with all the strange hallways and rooms in the castle, and everything lurking in and outside the grounds, you don't need to scale a tower to see something incredible here.
I'd imagine most students have
Oh, that's a bit laborious. So actually, one thing I mentioned about the Aya Neo was how you hold it. And I actually find that the hold on this, look, is actually probably better. It's not, you're not bunching your fingers up and round like you do on the Steam Deck, and like you kinda do on the Aya Neo. You stretch them out more, but there is this nice edge here that you can grab onto. Now I think a lot of people forget that's there, and it feels pretty good to hold. You hold it differently, but you hold it comfortably.
I'm sure I'll be seeing you around, either in our common room or when you scale your...
Now there's also been quite a lot of discussion, shall we say, on the Discord channel with people asking when they're going to get their device. So, as we have heard from Abxylute themselves, they have had a production issue. So the early models.
Good morning.
We'll listen to this.
You ready for your first day at Hogwarts?
I've been dreaming of this day for a long time. I can't believe I'm here.
Well, you are here. Make the most of it. You only have one first day at Hogwarts. Now, in light of your unique situation, joining us as a fifth year, you'll need to catch up with your classmates and not fall behind. Especially as you'll be expected to complete your OWLs at the end of the year.
OWLs? Owls?
Yes, your ordinary wizarding level exams. They will determine what type of career you can have when you leave here. After much discussion with the headmaster and the Department of Magical Education at the Ministry, we've devised something extraordinary to ensure your success. Here you are.
What is it?
It's a book.
Field guide. It will help you to keep track of what you are learning so that you master all that's expected of a fifth year. You would be wise to take full advantage of this exceptionally valuable resource.
It's disappeared into his armpit.
Thank you, Professor, but what do you mean it will keep track of what I'm learning?
Perhaps seeing it in action will answer any questions you may have. Walk with me and we shall put it to the test.
So as I was saying, there's been some people asking about when they'll get their device, especially newer members on the Discord who have not purchased via the Kickstarter. So what happened, as I understand it, was before the Kickstarters get their devices, there was a number of devices sold in the Chinese market first. And those were shipped already. So in the last week, all the Kickstarter units were shipped to Hong Kong, ready to be dispatched out. And then some of the Chinese buyers encountered an issue. And I believe it was with the ABXY buttons, the button quality. And I think some people have either buttons cracking or splitting or something. I'm not really sure. And so Abxylute took the decision to recall all the units that hadn't been shipped yet. And in the meantime, try and redesign the buttons. Which, you know, that's admirable of them to do that. You know, they could have just shipped them out and then sent us out buttons at a later date. And then it's a big stripped down job. And if you break your device, that's on you. And I'm glad they've actually gone out their way to recall and repair. Now that will add at least 2 weeks on. I think they've said the 17th of July is when is the earliest they think they'll be able to ship. So that gives them time to recall the kit back, pop them open, put the new buttons in, which have already been designed, and I think they did it really rapidly. It was within 2 or 3 days they rapidly prototyped some new buttons. Now the buttons are on it. These ones are actually okay, but as you see, there is that little issue where, I've mentioned this before, try and get to focus, that the kind of coating came off the edge of the button, and you can see the light shining through, so I'm wondering if it's something they've redesigned with that in mind. I don't know. What I will say is, I'm glad they spotted it when they did. Now, I don't mind a little delay. And I can see why retail buyers are a little bit impatient, because they're buying from a storefront and they expect immediate dispatch. But they just have to understand that this is a new product to the market, hasn't actually properly released yet, and the Kickstarter buyers will get theirs first. But the positive is, they were going to ship all the Kickstarter models out. There was hundreds of them. There was over 1,000 Kickstarter reserves. They were all going to get shipped out roughly the same time. So I would expect within a week probably they'll batch them out, a couple of hundred at a time maybe, over the space of 5 or 6 days. And so I would expect them to be delivered first, and we'll probably see a whole plethora of reviews from people that have been purchasing them. Probably a new review from me because I've got a Panda White one coming. I'll do a little comparison and contrast between them. So yeah, if you've just purchased one, you just have to be a little bit patient. It's going to be 4 weeks probably before it's in your hands. If you're really desperate for a different device, obviously it's your money, you can do what you like. So you can ask for a refund, you can buy something else. What on earth is going on here? Oh, somebody's trapped under this cow. What am I going to do? What to do here? Oh, oops. Ah, there you go. Like I say, I haven't been playing this game for very long and I'm just learning the buttons. Open the field guide by pushing that button. Okay, it's got my challenges in it.
Clever, isn't it? Keep your eyes open for more opportunities like...
I don't know, there was a little stutter there, and I usually comment and say, oh, that stutter's clearly down to my Wi-Fi, but that was actually an in-game stutter. I saw the
No time to waste. You've classes to
the
attend.
FPS counter dip right down into the 80s there, so... Now, I believe this game was a bit of a hot mess when it first came in. You had quite a high-spec machine. Now, the Minis Forum machine is pretty decent spec.
Good timing. Perfect opportunity to show you how to use blue flames to get around a bit quicker. Your field guide contains a map of the castle. Open it up and find Central Hall.
Oh, it's that one, is it? Right, okay. Central Hall. I keep finding myself, that's pretty impressive. The rain's certainly getting worse outside. I'm going to get a bit wet when I head back indoors. There we go. X to travel. My goodness. Could have taken less time to walk there. Cheers, everyone. So I don't think I'll keep this video as long as some of the last ones have been, because I'm only going to play this one game today. I think. That's one thing, it does take a bit of time when it's loading up sometimes. Now, I'm sure this game will probably run better if I was to install it in the NVMe drive on my machine, and I might actually move it, we'll see. Could be worthwhile doing that.
And here we are. Quite the time saver. These stairs lead directly to Central Hall. You can get almost anywhere in the castle quickly from Central Hall. Always something happening here. It's the heart of the hive. Our King's Cross station, so to speak. That should be all for now. You'll be expected to attend both Charms and Defense Against the Dark Arts classes today. And I'd like to be sure you get to Hogsmeade as soon as possible to replace the supplies you lost on the way here.
What will I learn in Charms class?
Exactly what you might expect. Spells, charms, jinxes, all terribly useful. I think you will enjoy Professor Ronan. He's a clever and entertaining wizard and a talented teacher.
Can you tell me more about the Defense Against the Dark Arts class?
Defense Against the Dark Arts, as the name implies, focuses on how to defend oneself against the evils that lurk beyond these walls. A mastery of Defense Against the Dark Arts is required for those who aspire to become warriors. Fortunately, we are lucky to have the ever-gifted Professor Heckert in charge of our students' education in that regard.
You mentioned Hogsmeade, Professor.
Hogsmeade is the only war wizarding village in Britain and is home to an array of shops and pubs. You should be able to find all of the school supplies you require in Hogsmeade. You will
In the pub,
also,
hopefully.
I imagine, enjoy many a butterbeer there with friends in due course.
Thank you, Professor Weasley.
A lot to absorb on your first day, and you have much to learn. Happily, your professors have agreed to create additional assignments for you outside of class. You'll be up to speed in no time. Judging by your adept use of Revelio earlier, I'd say Professor Fig succeeded in at least showing you the basics.
You did, Professor.
He's been terribly vague as to the events preceding your arrival, specifically about what happened after that awful dragon attack. My suspicion is that there's more to the story than a search for belongings and an extended trip up to the castle.
I'm sorry, Professor, but I'm afraid that's all there is to it.
Almost precisely what Professor Fig said. Speak of the devil, Professor Fig. Your ears must have been burning.
Oh.
Yes. You seem to have provided our new fifth year with a solid foundation in the basics of spellcasting.
I'm afraid I can't take all the credit there, Professor. They've a rare aptitude for magic, it seems.
Well, I'm just glad you both arrived in one piece.
I suddenly became plural there. What was going on there?
To Hogwarts, and you chose to fly in the path of a dragon.
I wouldn't say I chose the dragon's path, Professor. Rather unfortunately, it would seem that it chose us.
Very well. Enough chit-chat. I need to get to class myself. Might I rely on you, Professor Fig, to explain the details of the field guide's map?
Of course.
Thank you. Good luck today. And remember to use
Quite a lot of story to this game so far, but then I kind of expected that, to be honest.
and invaluable to me, as I'll be using it to keep up to date on your progress.
Yes, Professor.
And me playing through this now gives me the chance to get ahead of my son for a change. Because he'll start playing this next week when we're in the summer holidays, and he'll have the game completed in a couple of weeks, it's guaranteed.
Can't get you to Hogsmeade.
He'll make me look like a bad gamer. Not that I'm a very good gamer, but anyway.
It's good to see you, Professor.
And you. I was hoping our paths would cross today, before you immersed yourself in studies. Did I hear you masterfully evade Professor Weasley's interrogation regarding our late arrival?
I did try to evade her questions, though I feel a little receptive. That said, I'm fairly certain she suspects.
Yes, well, Professor Weasley is a brilliant and astute witch. It was
That was interesting. Somebody joined the stream there and blasted out some music and then left. Oh well.
It may require a bit more
So we're up at 40 minutes already. I think I'll just play this for 20 more minutes and then we'll call it quits.
Good. Now, as capable as you are, I believe the ability you possess obliges you to be well trained. Happily, you have the benefit of an exceptionally skilled team of witches and wizards to guide you. Speaking of guides, and so that I may avoid another not-so-subtle reproof from Professor Weasley, why don't I show you the clever enchantment we included in the field guide's map? Unfold it and have a look.
Wrong button. Yep. Oops.
The map is enchanted to help you find your way. This will be
Ah, right, okay, I was looking at the map, yeah.
Now, sounds like you've quite a day ahead, what with classes and a trip to Hogsmeade for supplies, including your own wand. You'll enjoy Mr. Ollivander. He's an exceptional craftsman and a good friend. I shall reach out when I have more information about our mysterious locket. For now, focus on your classes and pay attention. More than your owls may hinge on the magic you are able to master within these walls.
Okay, dokie. We're going this way. Bang away at this door. Hey, oh, I'm outside. Cool. Now the frame count is dropping a little bit, but again, that's not the Abxylute's fault. That's my mini PC, and the fact they're set at high settings. So.
Professor Hackett! Perhaps you'd be good enough to blast each other to pieces on your own time. I get new students every year, but I only have one Hebridean black skull. It was a token from the great poacher raid of 1878. No doubt you've heard of it. Now, you may be asking yourself how an old woman like me single-handedly took out the largest poacher ring in eastern Wales and lived to boast about it. Knowledge. To the wise, age matters very little. Today we will review a spell that has saved me from death at the hands of dark wizards more times than I care to remember. Levioso.
Levioso. A levitation charm.
Levioso! A surprised opponent is a weak opponent. Care to defend yourself, Master Pruitt? No? One thing I've learned as an unspeakable is the value of simplicity, especially in the heat of battle. Now, let's practice what we've just learned, starting with something small.
Okay, I think this will take us up to... Oh, okay.
Levioso!
Great.
Now, let's try something a little larger. Let us begin with a basic cast. See how the dummy deflected your cast? This time, cast Levioso first, then the basic cast. Remember, a surprise. Now, the basic cast. Potato. Well done.
Oh, there you go then.
Very good. But the best way to practice is by duel.
Excellent, I get to batter some other school kid now.
Duelists, take your marks.
Time for a proper Hogwarts run.
Let's get the bully.
I want a fair duel using only Levioso, basic cast, and Protego. You may begin.
I know.
Just kick his butt.
Lucky. Nothing lucky about it.
Protego.
I do enjoy a lively duel.
It's off the table now, so that must be a win, surely.
Not bad for a beginner. You give as good as you get.
Give as good as I get, never got any. Jeez, oh. See, when it comes to button mashing,
Rose to the challenge.
no problem.
Points to Gryffindor.
Thank you, Professor Haggard. Glad to have the opportunity to practice.
If what I've seen today is any indication, we can expect great things from you.
No, no pressure.
I demand excellence from my students. They are capable of achieving it, and they must achieve it. A classroom duel is one thing, but battling dark wizards, or as ever more likely goblins, is a different kettle of Grindylows entirely.
Understood, Professor.
So, I'd advise you to keep practicing whenever you can. Perhaps Mr. Sallow will have some ideas for you. Again, well done today. I shall reach out soon with additional assignments. All right, that's enough spectacle for one day. Class is dismissed.
Oh, why can't I make that person float?
Face Professor Hackett in a duel.
Yeah, you get yourself kicked in.
You drilled Sebastian. He's strong competition. Well done.
Nice work. I enjoyed that.
Well, I think I'm going to just
It was quite something.
watch this little bit and then
Talking about it.
It was certainly good practice.
save and quit, I think.
Practice. It felt more like I was dueling an expert. Sebastian Sallow, by the way. Didn't expect a new student to be so deft with a wand. Then again, perhaps this wasn't your first duel.
I've dueled enough. Consider yourself lucky I held back.
Huh, fair enough. You owe me an honest duel when you aren't. You know, you might be a perfect fit for a certain exclusive, unsanctioned dueling organization.
Unsanctioned? I don't know. School rules are in place for a reason.
Yes, to keep students in the dark. So many things we're deemed unprepared to know. If you want to get the most out of your time at Hogwarts, you're going to need to break the rules now and then. Whether it's joining a secret dueling club, or sneaking into the restricted section of the library, you just have to be clever enough not to get caught.
Thank you, Sebastian. I'll keep that in mind.
Good. Pleasure chatting with you. Sure I'll see you soon. Perhaps somewhere unsanctioned? We'll see if your performance today was sheer luck or actual skill. Look for Luke and Brattleby near the clock tower entrance. If you're interested. Till next time.
Let's get the menu up. Oh, what? Ah, cool. Okie dokie. Let's save the game. There we go. Shame you can't name your saves. There's a lot of games like that. I like to put a name against a save sometimes if it's one I'm like a fallback save or a save I'm keeping just for me, just in case someone else plays on the device. But just the way it is. Okay. And that rain is starting to get heavier outside, so I might just take the opportunity to disappear offline and go back indoors. So if you think that was useful, please leave a comment in the comment section. Valorant's still sitting there for some reason. I think that game was removed. If I click on this, it'll probably say launch failed. Yes. So we'll remove that from there. So that was a game someone asked me to test. I just could not get it working properly. So, more of a setup issue on my part. So if you see any games, I'll do a quick scroll through the games I've got installed here on my PC. If you see any games here you'd like me to test in one of my streams, just leave a comment in the comment section on any of the posts. I will see it, and I'll add it onto my list of things to do in the next stream. And I think that's it. So, I'll catch you next video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.